All right. Welcome to Mentors Mike podcast, episode 3. Now, on this podcast, we want to deal with an important discussion. Okay. Now, we have a lot of people who are afraid of failing. When they fail, what should they do? So today we are tackling a question: what to do when you fail? And in the studio with me today, we have two wonderful students, two wonderful young. Of course, I never knew when I was making the arrangement to pick them, to invite them to the podcast. Now we have the immediate past senior prefect and the present senior prefect of Wisdom and Grace Scholar School. I never knew I was going to get two senior prefects on my podcast today. We're going to meet them anyway, and they will help us tackle these questions. They will share from their lives experiences, and I'm sure you're going to learn a lot. But before that, we're going to take a short break. Okay, so welcome back to Mentors Mind, where voices rise, doubts fall, and truth leads. So today, like I said, we are diving into a powerful topic: what to do when you fail. Is failure the end or just the beginning? Let's find out. So beginning from our guest, I think we are going to start with the present senior prefect. Please, can we meet you, sir?
Okay, thank you very much for giving this opportunity to sit here to explain to you on this wonderful topic: what to do when we fail. So, I go by the name of David Jack, the current SS2 candidate, the senior boy of the school, Wisdom and Grace Scholar School, current senior prefect. Thank you very much.
Okay, please, let's meet you, sir.
Thank you once again for this opportunity. My name is Okafor Chisholm, the previous senior prefect of Wisdom and Grace Scholar School.
Alright, so can either of you, I think I have to start with the art senior prefect. Can you share an experience where you failed once in your life?
Yeah, it was an experience I could never forget, because recently we finished our junior WAEC and we are about to enter into the senior secondary school, which was like the first opportunity. So on a particular time we have to choose the course from my previous school. So the School of Science, Technical and Arts. So I went into salesmanship where like commercial activities. So when my dad first heard of it, he was like frustrated and angry. That's because I had dreams to become a medicine student, but how come I ended up in salesman? It was sounding awkward in him. So the first year I did the exam, he said I must switch or I'll have to repeat class, because for me to actually change the course, either I have to repeat or I change the school. So, and school was in a nice school. So he said I should write it down. If I do not do well in the subject, I'm going to repeat. So I wrote the first exam. The results came out. I logged into the portal and I saw my results. Because my parents were not with me there. So they were like, where is the result? I told them that the portal was having issue because I got F9 in so many subjects. D7. The my highest then was D7. My lowest is F9 and E8. So I did not do well. The second thing I started again, I didn't have any passion for the subject. I hated maths. Like maths was always choking me up. I got in first test that time I got 0/10. Many people laughed at me. The second test, because I actually test one and test two. So the second test I got over 10. So during the exam, I wrote the exam again, I got F9. The same F9. So my dad was already pissed off because he did not see the former term results and he had never seen the second term results. Because he asked me and I saw the same result again and I used the same idea of the same scope for him that I've never seen the result. But this one says how he's going to get to the bottom of it. So he started calling one of two people in school for the result and the result later came out. So you see that I'm going to have to repeat. Unfortunately for me, he gave me another chance. Say I should finish my school. I'm going to do the third term of SS1 in school. And if I don't do it, guys, I have to repeat and stay with my junior sister in the class.
Wonderful. That's an experience. How did you feel? I mean, what were the first thoughts that came to you in that moment when you know we're going to sit at the same, I mean, be in the same class with your younger sister?
I was annoyed, frustrated. I almost felt like I almost gave up on education. And I felt that there was no hope again for it because there was no use. Either of us, being my dad was pushing me for education. I already felt like giving up.
You almost gave up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what about you? Do you have an experience you would like to share with us where you almost failed?
Yes. I remember vividly when I was still in GSS, junior secondary school. So I applied for a competition, a maths competition that was going on in about 2 weeks from that day. So I worked tirelessly hoping that I get nominated as one of the people who's going to represent our state for that maths competition. I worked tirelessly for the weeks, practice, worked tirelessly in order for me to get nominated. But after 2 weeks time before the preparation came out, I was not part of the people that was going to represent.
Wow. How did you feel when
I felt disappointed and crushed.
crushed? You know, failure, the sound of failure is not pleasant at all. Okay, so why do you think a lot of young people today fear failure? Let me start from you. Yes.
Fearing failure to me is not actually a bad thing, but if you continue with the mindset of fearing failure, like that is when it will actually become a wrong thing. You don't have to fear failure. Like failure is like as if you are going to the goal, going to fire. So failure is like the steps you take. So when you actually pass through the steps of failure, there is always success. So failure is like a fire that leads to success. If you fail and learn from your failure, you actually progress more.
That's true. Alright, so before we hear from our second speaker, we're gonna go in a short break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So let's have your own perspective on why young ones today fear failure.
Okay, what I've noticed about that is that when people fail, it's always how society looks at it. It's always linked to shame and judgment. So when people judge people that fail, they don't emphasize on okay, what, how can we improve in this failure? How can we look for possible ways that we can use to, you know, work on the failure, try to have another perspective. And most times in schools, they often focus more on people that have grades than people that further making um ways ways in order for people not to fail again.
I think I like what you're saying. Do you have anything to say about what the society and the school today, what they teach, or what their perspective about failure versus success?
The society usually celebrates success. Nobody wants to actually understand those who fail. So you guys just want people to be successful ones. You don't embrace the upcoming ones who are not actually good, like the failures.
Okay, so the society celebrates success more. So the failure is like a loser. It's clear. I understand where you are coming from. Okay, so now let's talk about the phrase failing forward. What do you think? What do you think it means when we say failing forward? What does it mean?
According to how I look at failing, it explains failure as a stepping stone. It's trying to emphasize more of failure as a way to teach you in order for you to progress further.
Failing forward. So when you fail, don't stay down. Stand up. Dust yourself. Try again. That's failing forward.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. So now, how can someone grow or improve after failing? Now, yourself, I can see you were once an F9 student in mathematics, but just before you graduated, you were the best in your class in mathematics. How did you do it?
I'll say determination, not giving up, words of courage, burning light candles, sleepless night, trying to achieve something, trying to be the best. Not wanting failure to define me, to be a part of me. Trying to remove that mindset.
Okay. So, Mr. David, do you have something else to that?
Yeah, according to what you said about the time where you failed, there was a time I used to be someone who fails too. That was during my KG primary school, preschool. Yes. So I was a very bad student academically.
Wow.
Most people think failure is just physical, but they don't know there's also something behind it, like an external force. Failure is also something spiritual. Like that, out of that story, yeah, my mom used to tell me that there was a teacher there that sometimes used to rub my head. To me, I was looking like, what? I was small then, so I'm very tender indeed, so I will not know what's happening. So, as I was telling the story, she used to rub my head, and I was going to big schools, but there was nothing in my head. I was just going there, just like fashion, just like I don't know, let me just go there to learn, all those kind of things. So after some prayers and everything, I figured out that yes, there was something spiritual that happened to me. From that day, I said to myself that I can't continue like this again. That is when I started building up my courage. I started burning midnight candle, according to what it said, sleepless nights and this.
So now I see that there is a spiritual aspect of failure.
Yes.
So when you see your child not doing well, do not conclude that the child is entirely lazy or entirely dumb. There could be some spiritual factors,
Yes.
right? Like what happened to you. And like you said, after the prayers, you saw that something spiritual happened to you. That's really sure. Yeah. All right. Now, I think we have to draw the curtain here because of time. But what advice will you give to someone who is afraid to start again after failing?
The advice I'll give to someone who is afraid to start again is to be courageous. Courage doesn't mean that you don't have to fail. It just means that you are learning, you are striving even after the failure. Like some way some footballers strive even after the ball, the way they drink, like they made a mistake, they still strive, they still does their shot and get up and continue pursuing till they achieve the goal which they are set.
That's a nice one. Any advice from you?
Okay, the advice I'll give is to start small. So many people don't relate to that. They should know that they should always start small in everything they want to do in this life. Because thinking that you get something immediately will only make you fail the more. Another one is that understanding that courage is the ability to get back up and continue striving despite the fact you are still failing. This brings us to that time that Thomas Edison, yes, the guy who invented bulb, they said approximately 999 times he failed. But when they were interviewing him, now how can you fail 999 times and still go back up? He said in one of his words, I can't remember, that he did not fail 999 times. He figured out a solution to counter 999 stupid ideas.
That's a nice one. See, the man said, I didn't fail 999 times. He succeeded in doing what? Deleting and removing the useless 999 ideas. See, I must tell you the truth. Failing is not final unless you quit. I think we have heard from our guests today who've seen them, both of them. The same thing happened to them. We are both not bright students at first, but presently you can see they are the best in their classes. The immediate past senior prefect, the best in mathematics in his class, and even the present one is very good at mathematics too. So, like I said, failing is not the end unless you quit. You didn't fail, you just learned. So, dust yourself, pick up, try again. That is failing forward. I hope we have learned something in this short podcast this evening. But before we go, I would like to beg you, please always share this podcast. Share it and encourage us by liking it, adding a comment. Tell us what you think about what we are doing, and how to encourage us. We like it. Let us hear what you are saying. Let's get your points, your views as well. Okay. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. We'll see you again next Friday for another exciting episode of Mentors My Podcast. Until then, from all of us here, say have a happy celebration. And then to a Muslim brother celebrating, the happy Salah, Eid Mubarak. Celebrate in peace and enjoy yourselves. And see you next Friday.